Despite not having wrestled for several months in WWE, Alexa Bliss remains one of the most popular females in the company. The first woman in WWE history to win both the Raw and SmackDown women's titles, she guarantees a reaction from the universe, is fantastic on the mic, and has some of the most dedicated fans you could ask for. That's thoughtful of him, isn't it? Alexa has had an incredible life inside and outside the ring, featuring some unbelievable highs and lows. And I'm not just talking about when she was pestered by Otis Dozovic on Raw this week. Look at his face here. Even Cleary would tell him to tone it down a bit, and he's got an Alexa Bliss back tattoo. Anyway, Alexa's is a fascinating story, and with that in mind, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, and these are 10 things you didn't know about Alexa Bliss. Number 10. Her parents struggled through her early years. Born on the 9th of August 1991, the future Alexa Bliss is simply Alexis Kaufman to her parents Bob and Angela, and quickly becomes the apple of their collective eye. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows in the Kaufman household. At least she wasn't ginger, eh? Angela was 18 and Bob only 17 when Bliss was born, and as young parents just setting out on their journey through life, the couple admitted during a WWE-produced documentary about Alexa that they struggled initially to settle as a family. Much of this was financial, although Bliss herself fondly remembers annual trips to Disney World despite her parents having a relatively low income. Must have been nice. My parents took me here when I was young. Not quite the happiest place on earth, is it? There's no sugarcoating when Bob talks about the situation, though, and he seemed eager to tell WWE and the world that he was only finding his feet as a man when suddenly he found himself forced to adapt to being a father for such a colourful, dramatic child. Number 9. She is a great singer. It may surprise some wrestling fans to learn that Alexa Bliss is actually a pretty damn good singer. Excelling on the microphone in WWE during promos is just the tip of the iceberg for Bliss vocally, because she actually has a great set of, careful, pipes on her, coming from a family that loves music. Alexa's grandfather was a country musician, and that genre is one Bliss favours herself. There's been no real hint of a singing gimmick for Alexa in WWE, thank God, although her parents did provide footage to the company for use in the documentary that showed Bliss laying loose and belting out songs at home. Don't get any ideas, Vince. Number 8. Rey Mysterio was her childhood favourite. Chances are, if you don't like my best friend Rey Mysterio, I don't care for you as a person. Anyway, when Rey Mysterio joined WWE in the summer of 2002, Alexa Bliss would have been around 10 years old. A keen gymnast from the age of 4, the former women's champion has said several times during interviews that Rey's style grabbed her almost immediately. Admiring the way the former WCW Cruiserweight star would fly around the ring, an impressionable Bliss linked Mysterio's ring style with her own approach to gymnastics. In addition to his high-flying moves, she also adored the colourful outfits and superhero-like masks that Mysterio would wear during his performances. Above all others, the dazzling Mexican was the one that left a major impression on Alexa during her formative years watching WWE. Cue 619 jokes in the comments section. I know you're thinking it. Number 7. Doctors told Alexa's parents she was 24 hours away from dying. Imagine being hit with the terrible news that your daughter may have only 24 hours to live. Those were the shocking words relayed to Bob and Angela Kaufman about their little girl by doctors in Columbus, and the admission rocked the family. Going through a serious eating disorder from the age of 15, Bliss worried her parents enough that they tricked her into a hospital visit. Telling her that they were going to church, the mother-father duo actually drove their daughter to meet with doctors, aiming to find out the root of her weight loss problems and general unhappiness in her own skin. After taking her vital signs, medical staff admitted that Alexa may be at death's door if they didn't act quickly. Therefore, with or without the consent of her parents, doctors were keen to keep Bliss in-house and work through her issues. To this day, Bliss wonders if that hoodwinking from her parents may have saved her life. Number 6. Bodybuilding helped Bliss overcome an eating disorder relapse. that dramatic episode aged 15 wouldn't be the last time that Alexa Bliss suffered with an eating disorder. Relapsing in college, the gymnast enlisted the help of personal trainers Natalie Calland and Mike Davies to help her gain some healthy weight. The combination of serious weight training and eating properly at home became aspects of Alexa's regimen that she follows to this day. Setting their young student on a path to greatness, both Calland and Davis helped Bliss see the values of mixing exercise with a healthier approach to eating. Throwing herself into bodybuilding, the young female became the youngest in history at that point to get a pro card as a bodybuilder. Entering the Arnold Classic competition showed Bliss that she could do anything she set her mind to, provided a support network was there to back her up. Number 5. Triple H came to her regarding WrestleMania 30. Did you know that for Triple H's entrance at WrestleMania 30, this is Charlotte Flair, this is Sasha Banks, and this is Alexa Bliss? Of course you did. It's one of those wrestling facts that everyone knows, like JBL beating up the Blue Meanie, Vince hating sneezing, and the WWF replacing the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 8. Wake up, sheeple! However, the selection process wasn't random. The game knew he had some special talents on his hands down in NXT. Triple H wanted to give each woman, including Bliss, some experience on such a huge stage before they inevitably reached it as in-ring performers themselves. That confidence placed in her by such a powerful and influential name once again gave Alexa supreme belief that she'd chosen the right path by joining WWE. Number 4. WWE didn't know about her Harley Quinn outfit beforehand. At Backlash in October 2016, Alexa Bliss was part of a 6-pack challenge match designed to crown the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. In a bid to stand out from the crowd, she dressed up as Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad movie released earlier that year. According to Bliss during a chat with Yahoo Sports, WWE didn't know about her outfit choice before the pay-per-view. This was a calculated risk from Alexa. She planned to ask forgiveness rather than permission once the show was over with. Thankfully, WWE loved the idea and viewed it as an extension of Alexa's previous work, dressing up as horror star Freddy Krueger during her time in NXT. Bliss knew that she could pull the Quinn look off and that it would draw attention from wrestling fans who were, let's just say, enamored by Margot Robbie's portrayal of the supervillain in Suicide Squad. She was right, and it remains her most memorable costume yet. Oh, and guess who dressed up as Harley Quinn for Halloween last year too? Obsessed much? Number 3. The Bliss surname came about by accident. The Alexa part of her ring name obviously comes from Bliss's real name, Alexis Kaufman, but the second half had an unlikely source of inspiration that came from out of nowhere. Cast as a Southern girl originally in NXT, Alexa used "bless your heart" as a catchphrase. Due to her accent, though, the word bless sounded a little bit more like bliss, and this was something that she and others picked up on over time. During several interviews, Bliss has admitted that the name change was accidental more than anything else and only came about due to her pronunciation problems. WWE decided to run with the name Alexa Bliss after this, and that allowed the female to use terms like blissed off going forward. Nice. Number 2. Alexa sent her mother a Legally Blonde quote post-WWE draft. Anybody who follows Alexa Bliss on Instagram or Twitter, and hasn't been blocked, will know that she's a huge fan of Disney, and that passion for the company extends to musicals too. Her absolute favourite is Legally Blonde, a musical that Alexa, her mother, and if I'm honest, the entire WhatCulture office really enjoys. When Bliss was moved from NXT to SmackDown Live during the WWE draft, she sent her mother a text message that aped a quote from the movie. The actual quote is, "Look at my name in black and white, your daughter's doing something right," but Alexa changed black to blue in order to represent her new wrestling home. Get it? Number 1, her mother used China to discourage a WWE tryout. When the future Alexa Bliss told her parents that she wanted to try out for WWE and become a wrestling superstar in 2013, her mother was horrified by the idea. She had a point. They were doing stuff like this at the time. Ah well, thank God Stephanie McMahon invented women's wrestling a few years later, eh? During the documentary produced by WWE, Angela revealed that she used China as a tool to try and convince her little girl not to become a wrestler. You see, in the mother's mind, her daughter would be crushed by muscle-bound athletes like China because that was the kind of female WWE wanted. The tactic, obviously, didn't work. Fully aware that WWE had moved away from women like China, Bliss was also determined to help change perception of what women's wrestling could be. Ignoring her mother's pleas, she answered a recruitment call on WWE's website, decided to send in an audition tape, and asked the promotion to train her. The rest, as they say, is blistery.